Thank you so much, effys, for coming to talk to me. First of all, congratulations on the successful group stage so far.
Thank you.
I don't think have you dropped even a map yet at this stage?
Yeah, we did. Sadly, we did. Yeah.
Okay, so you're almost perfect record. You're now headed into another matchup with Immortals, a team that you guys have faced off with a couple of times. I think you're kind of at the same. It's always an interesting matchup between you guys. What are you looking forward to in this next matchup with Immortals, and what have you learned from them so far?
I'm kind of looking forward to just play them more because we haven't played them in a while, even in scrims. So we are kind of. I know they brought back. They left one player. They cut one player, I think, and they then brought him back.
And then brought him back.
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward. I think he's playing different agents now. So I think they're gonna be they're gonna have a different play style. So I think they have the edge on knowing how we play more than how they play. Because we've played, I think, more maps than them with our current lineup than them. So I'm looking forward to see what they do. And we might have to switch things up on our end a little bit too.
What was your mentality like coming out of Nerd Street Gamers and coming into, and what is the contrast, I should say, between that tournament and this tournament?
Well, the Nerd Street Gamers thing is a bit of a. I mean, yes, the results weren't there, but at the same time, we did play two of the artist teams for us, Sentinels and T1. That's the only teams that we lost to. So I mean, the results might not have been great, but at the same time, we knew that it's these are teams that we have trouble beating, even in practice, even in scrims. So we knew that these were two tough opponents. So the only thing that really did is all right, we need to figure out a way to beat them. Because we're do fine against any team. We could do fine versus 3-9, we do fine versus TSM. TSM is always a close matchup. We do fine versus Immortals. We do fine versus other pro teams, but these two teams in particular are really rough for us. Sentinel is the most buggy team you can imagine, and T1 is just so skilled that it's you need to have a perfect game to beat them. So the only thing we worked on between Ender Street Gamers and Pulse is just figuring out these two teams out. T1 wasn't in the Pulse and the Pulse one, but Sentinels was, and our preparation kind of showed. I mean, the fact that we beat them.
Right.
But aside from that, I think that's the only thing that we changed because the other teams, like I said, we know we can beat C9, we know we can beat TSM, we know we can beat Inno. These are the two teams that are troublesome for us. It's a bit unlucky that we played them both.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, group stages or rather, there's sometimes you get a bad group stage or a tough group or whatever, and that can really affect you. I mean, it even happened recently to TSM dropping that round to Cloud9, and then it really just hampered the tournament, and that was it. It's just one of those things that happens to you sometimes.
It can't always be on point. Perfect games, right?
Yeah, and that's just it. So let's talk a bit. You said you're not really afraid of any of these teams. You have feelings that you can beat pretty much anyone, which I would expect you to have as a professional player. But who is the team that you are at least not least prepared for? But who is the team that you have Mango coming up? Let's talk about Mango. I mean, this is a guy who's a gamer. He's not necessarily a top level FPS guy. And I guess I have to ask the interview question: are you worried at all about Mango's team?
I don't even know who's on their team, so no.
Okay.
Not really.
All right.
But I mean, it's a team game. It's a very, very team-oriented game, and I think they're a pug kind of. So
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bloodbath. I'll respect to Mango. Okay, shout out to Mango, but
it's a team game, and they're going to be as a pug versus a team. We can't expect maybe they're good. I don't know, but we can't expect them to be insanely prepared for this.
Okay, so. Normally, I'll say, well, what's your goal for the tournament? You're gonna say, well, of course, to win. So, what is a result that what are you trying to learn from this tournament? What are you gonna take away that even if you, of course, win the tournament, which I'm sure you will? What are you trying to learn from this tournament? What are you trying to who's the team you're trying to get the most intel on?
Probably T1 and TSM. T1 and TSM are the two teams that I would 100% consider, no matter what happened this tournament. I think I would still consider them to be our two toughest opponents, and if I was to say a top three, I assume they would both be in there. Would probably be third or around that. And I mean, if these are two teams that are considered to be as good as us or even better, I feel like these are the two teams that we need to learn from. These guys are pro gamers. We haven't, I've said before, all of us have never been pro gamers before. It's pretty new to us. So there's a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of there's a lot of ways how do they practice, how do they improve, how what do they look at, what do they do good that we don't. So these are the two teams that I think I look up to the most.
Okay, well, you know what, I know that you guys are going to do really, really well, and I have to leave with you as a traditional one Canadian to another. The old French goodbye. Je suis un pomme. So thank you so much, my friend, and thank you for stopping by. And I'll see you next time. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.